Hey, this is PoeticWhiz. I'm going to talk about the upcoming iPhone SE in 2025. Here's what everything you need to know about the upcoming iPhone SE and what I wish to see Apple to really do with the upcoming iPhone SE. I've already made a dedicated video on the iPhone SE in my channel. You can check that video out. But this video is primarily going to be about iPhone SE or how I want the iPhone SE to be, and if I had a dream iPhone, how the dream iPhone should certainly be. And this is that video I wanted to make for you all. Just a fresh perspective on how iPhone SE could be a major landmark and a major upgrade for Apple and for all of us in that regard. So without any further ado, let's continue with the video. Let's start on. As for the design, we already know iPhone SE has already been inspired by the previous model, the last model, whatever it is. In this case, it is the iPhone 14, the flagship iPhone that's currently on a low budget at a reasonable price. As for the SE design, the iPhone SE will have the iPhone 14 design. But what I feel is Apple should not go with the iPhone 14 design, rather take the iPhone 15 design and have it like upgrade, a major leap forward or big overhaul in my perspective. Reason being, you will get the dynamic island and most probably the heavily rumored action button. And here's where things get really interesting personally for me. As someone who has his phone on silent 24/7, I feel having an action button at the present stage with a dynamic island is like a good combo altogether. The reason why I'm saying that is because these two things together make a whole lot different with iOS, especially with iOS 18 customization, and a whole lot different how we can use the action button to a whole different level from the way we want it, then rather have it on a silent mode just with the action button when we can do multiple things at a go. Let it be translation, let it be music, let it be our journals or anything, writing for that matter, or creativity stuff like photography, writing, anything for that matters. Action button is there for you. As for the dynamic island, it's like a secondary layer of multitasking, the normal multitasking we do on iPhones for that matters, like switching between apps, all like that. But where dynamic island comes in play is when you're having a Uber Lyft, or when you're streaming on Spotify, or any other thing for that matters, that you don't necessarily need a whole UI for it or a whole app to be on your face. Rather, dynamic island acts as a secondary screen for you, like a secondary multitask for you. That multitasking basically what I'm trying to say. Acts as a second screen or whatever. So having these two in the iPhone SE would be a great thing, and especially for me, I feel if Apple does that, like having a dynamic island, having the action button on the iPhone SE would be great. And yes, one more thing, I know that Apple will never do this, but if they do this, I would be really disappointing for me mostly. That's the camera button. Hopefully Apple does not do this and we don't see that on the iPhone SE, on the upcoming iPhone SE. The reason why I'm saying is, one, there's no use of camera button. I wish that not to be see a day of light. I don't want that to happen. Yes, as for the battery life, I feel Apple needs to upgrade the battery life or make it in a way like the battery life not too bad, not too good. It passes on a regular day to heavy usage at a swift pace, where the battery life is decent enough for everyone, regardless of if someone moving for the iPhone for the first time or someone who just wants to upgrade to the iPhone SE and not spend on the iPhone 16 regular or the Pro Max iPhones for that matters. And I feel battery would play a huge role apart from the software upgrade that iOS 18 has to offer. And yes, we might probably see Apple Intelligence on iPhone SE, and I feel that would be a nice icing on the cake. If Apple Intelligence make onto the iPhone SE, it would be like how iPad mini currently has it, I feel. If I remember correctly, that would be a step up for the iPhone SE in that regards. And yes, that's where I'm saying, even if you look at Apple Intelligence as a solo feature apart from iOS 18, still then also iPhone SE will succeed without the Apple Intelligence also, in my regard. But either way, I feel we will have Apple Intelligence. Coming to cameras, yes, we might see a single lens camera, 48 megapixels, and I feel I would be really fine with it because I'm not a camera nerd by any means, and I'm not someone who takes photos normally on my iPhone. Till to the day, I have not taken much photos, but whatever photos I have taken are decent enough. And now, even for that instant, when I'm recording this video, particularly what you're watching is recorded on the iPhone SE front facing camera. I know the camera is not decent enough, but it gets the job done. So that in that regard, if iPhone SE gives a decent amount of camera, a decent camera, then it would be great. And a nice upgrade, front and back camera would be a nice upgrade to see. And yeah, because my major this thing with the iPhone SE would be the battery life should be good. Design should have been heavily inspired by the iPhone 15 with the dynamic island and action button. And yes, great color options. Because if Apple goes the iPhone 14 way design, it will be very bad. I personally feel. But for majority people, it will not be a concern. Yep. One more thing, I'm not sure if anyone has noticed this, or anyone has thought about it or no. But personally, I feel the only way I can see Apple going for the iPhone 15 design, having the dynamic island action button, would also benefit that now that the EU has said that Apple should move on to USB-C. That's one thing that iPhone 14 does not have, but the 15 onwards, iPhone 15 series onwards, we have USB-C. So overall, if you see iPhone SE having this whole package or the Frankenstein version of iPhone 15 Pro and Apple Intelligence, it would be a whole different ball game altogether, and at a reasonable price. If you ask me, it would be almost like the price of iPhone 6s earlier when we had it, when iPhone 6s was initially launched. Yeah, we could see a ramp upgrade most certainly because Apple Intelligence requires at least almost 8 GB or 6 GB of RAM, as far I know. But yes, I'm really looking forward to the iPhone SE as a whole. I hope Apple does not disappoint me in any way for that matters. And as for the pricing, I feel it should start around $400. I know I'm being a bit budget conscious. I feel overall we all should be budget conscious because iPhones have always been expensive no matter what. Here, we are all saying iPhone should by now had 120 Hz on the base model. That would be the regular 15 or the 16 for that matter. But so far in this over the course of 2 years, we have not got that. We have got only the 120 Hz on the Pro models for that matter, not on the regular iPhone. And personally for me, 120 Hz does not make much difference. Personally, I feel it's good to have regardless of no. But personally for me, it's not a a win-win situation or anything like that. If have it or no, it's not a big deal for me. But yes, for me a big deal would be a good battery life, good color option and a good display. And yes, coming to display, I almost forgot that we might see an OLED display. I'm not sure how far of a good display it would be. And secondary, Apple is having their in-house modem, first generation in-house modem. As someone I'm not too expertise in the modem side of things, I hope this new venture, the new modem that comes out with the iPhone SE has a good run. Basically like how the M1 was for the Mac lineup and how eventually we saw that in iPhones and iPad lately, and the whole whole Mac Apple ecosystem for that regard. Because Apple, I feel, is pushing the boundaries the way it wants its products to have a longer battery life, longer longevity. It's no more concerned about, I mean, it's not concerned, but at the same time, if you look at the Apple ecosystem or Apple, the way they have priced its products recently, especially after the whole overall of the iPad lineup, when the iPad Air was introduced in 11 and 13-inch size respectively, I feel that's when Apple was like, okay, we are all in. We are just not focusing on our profit margins, but rather focusing on what the customer wants and what people who really love Apple should really are looking forward to have. And basically, I feel Apple is given that in many ways than we ever could expect. Let it be from the pricing, let it be from that size, different sizes, let it be on its iPhone lineup size, its Mac lineup size, or even the iPad for that matter. And personally for me, I am someone who does not use his iPhone a lot, and I have always mentioned this. in my channel that I'm not someone who uses iPhone. I hardly call to anyone. Mostly I prefer text over calls. And iPhone SE would be a great all-rounder for me, especially. I know I could get the iPhone 15 for that matter, or the iPhone 15 Pro, because personally for me 16 regular was a letdown, and all due to the action button. I mean, not the action button but the camera button, that was a major letdown for me. If that had a remapping of whatever, like what the action button first could do, personally probably could do the same I wish action button could do, but sadly we cannot see that happening anytime sooner. And coming to Apple Intelligence, personally the Apple Intelligence feature for me is okay in one way. ChatGPT integration with Siri is great. Writing tool is like a win-win for me in many regards, I would say. Or image playground, whatever. It's okay, but I don't feel we should not be too concerned about it. I feel, because here AI, no matter what, at the end of the day, it's about how you push your limit, how as a creative person or a person who likes to still do things the old school way, I feel. No matter how mainstream things have become, how AI has influenced us in many ways possible. To this day, whenever I use AI tool, I feel at the end of the day, the AI tool should not be the only way to get the work done. Rather, use it in a way that you feel okay, it would have your workload be minimized or make it quicker, a lot easier. So far, the only app I feel for me personally in terms of AI is Descript. All my auto captions, whatever you see, I've done through Descript. I know it's not perfect, but that's the only app I feel, apart from ChatGPT, is great for me in that regard as to the AI aspect, stuff and all. But yeah, so overall I feel this is the thing I feel Apple should, yeah, I know I'm not talking about the speakers or anything much. I hope the build quality is great. And yeah, as for the modem I was talking about, I'm not sure how the modem is going to be in-house Apple modem, but I hope it's better, it's reliable, and it does not consume more, what is it, battery life or anything like that, and it does not heat enough the iPhone SE like a hot mess. But either way, I hope the phone turns out to be decent enough and a big upgrade for Apple, or for personally for me, because I've not been a fan of iPhone SE editions a lot. Yeah, I'm not saying I've not been a fan, but for me iPhone SE editions have always been a 50-50 go. The only thing I loved the iPhone SE was the first generation, when it had the iPhone 5S design. That was the only iPhone SE till then I personally love. After that, whatever came in, no, it was not too much for me. Not because I owned an iPhone 6S and I own an iPhone 6S to this day. Not because due to that, but still. But I am really looking forward that this year, the upcoming year, that's 2025, the iPhone SE brings big profits to the iPhone SE series, and personally it makes me to buy the iPhone SE in some way, because I'm really looking forward to the iPhone SE. And hopefully if Apple gives us what I'm expecting, that the dynamic island, the action button, and decent battery life and a good color options, I think iPhone SE would be the pick for many people who want to really upgrade to iPhone without spending a lot of money. It would be on the iPhone regular or the iPhone Pro model. Do let me know what you would like to see on the iPhone SE model, and let be a feature, hardware, or anything else on how, or what do you feel the Apple house in modem could, or your thoughts on the iPhone Apple in-house modem basically. Do let me know, and do subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, because I'm trying to make as many videos as possible and bring to the best content possible. And yeah, I do hope you share this video with everyone. And this is your PoeticWhiz. Do like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Live your dreams.